All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Hello. Welcome to my channel. This is Say You Love with Crystal Lavender. Some people know me as Crystal. Some people know me as Criddle. Some people know me as Nacho Mama. Either way, this is Say You Love with Crystal Lavender, and I am Crystal Lavender. And yeah, that is my real name, y'all. I always make jokes saying that I should have been born, I was either born a hippie or a stripper. You know what I mean? So today we are going to do an all signs reading, along with a couple of readings to people in the chat, and we're going to play fine tune our intuition. That's my favorite. I love the fine tune our intuition. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's get this party started. Woot, woot. For those of you that don't know the drill, please like and comment after the video and subscribe and hit that little bell button so you know when I go live. It really helps out the channel. It might be a small click for you, but it's a big click for me. Big bada boom, chicken good. So we're going to do all signs. So Aries through Pisces. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm not too loud or nothing. And then we're going to throw some of those them intuition cards that you get that you've seen on like Ghostbusters and stuff. Like playing fine tune my intuition is like one of my favorite things. And I thought that doing it live would be really cool. So we're going to give that a shot. So Aries. What do you need to know right meow? Right meow. Right meow. What doesn't tell you the time on there? It tells you the time on there. Oh. All right. Aries. Let's get this party started. For those of you that don't know, I am a recovered addict. I am 3 years into my recovery. I published a book called Say You Love. That's why my channel's name is Say You Love. I published a book all from my little phone. All of this was done on my phone. And if you would like to get a signed book, you can email me at s.y.l.sayyoulove@gmail.com, and I will ship you out a signed book. If you would like to buy one from Amazon, in the description box will be a link. And if you would like information on how you could go about publishing your own book, or like what steps you could take to do that, I am more than happy to help anybody out there. And if you're struggling with your own recovery, or you have a loved one that's struggling with recovery, like please feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out. Because one person's story can truly like inspire someone else. Like we only have our own stories. So it was someone else's story that inspired me, and now it's my story that's inspiring other people. And who knows what your story could inspire other people to do. So we need you loud and we need you proud, Do not stay anonymous to make anybody comfortable. With that being said, Aries. Hi, Mom. Hi, Michael. Thank you guys so much for being here. Aries, we got Chariot. That light's kind of weird, huh? It's like shining all weird on it. Let me turn this one off. That's still kind of weird. All right. Anyways, we got the Chariot, the Eight of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess, and Temperance. So I think what you need to know right now is you are definitely pushing forward towards your healing. Like you are definitely pushing forward. And I say that because we have the Three of Swords and the Temperance right here that are both in the reverse. Like the Temperance might be in reverse, and that's all to do with feeling. You know, the Temperance is all feeling and no fact, but you're definitely examining the facts, you know. And whatever has hurt you in the past is definitely healing. You're healing. You're taking a leap of faith into the future, you know. It doesn't feel like you're going like a bat out of hell into nowhere land. But you are making very calculated, you know, with the High Priestess, like you're making very calculated leaps of faith. You know, you don't want to repeat this past cycle here because you've done so much healing. It's like you finally healed that abscess on your heart. Hi, Dale. Why is it so blurry? Hold on, let me fix that. I don't know why it's so blurry. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, that's a little better. Sorry about that, guys. So whatever you've had that was like an abscess on your soul, like there was something that was really traumatic for you, and it's like you're in the final stages of healing that. You know, so if you were wondering if it's ever going to go away, if the pain is ever going to go away, I think you are taking the appropriate steps, you know, to actually properly care for that wound, rather it be self-care, rather it be like, you know, a mixture of internal work and self-love and accountability, or just not letting people, you know, come in and do the same things to you over and over again, you know, by not repeating the cycles, by actually applying the lessons. Like, I feel like you are moving in the right direction and you're following your intuition, you know, and you're not being all feeling. You know, we have a tendency when we are in love with somebody, or especially if we think that they're our twin flame or something, if we put that label twin flame on something, then we have a tendency to really, you know, let a lot of things slide. Like, we'd be disrespecting ourselves, we'd be disrespecting other people, we'd be, you know, doing all kinds of things because we put this label of twin flame, you know. So if that's the case, don't let that label let you disrespect yourself, you know. Like maybe something had to come to a head. Like maybe you had to be completely shaken up and embarrassed by whatever, you know, whatever happened. You know, you had to make a complete fool out of yourself for you to know that you were never going to do that again. But I think you are definitely taking steps in the right direction. Yeah, with the manifestation card here and the Magician in the upright. Trying to get your home life in balance. It might feel a little out of balance right now, but you're trying to get your home life in balance. Where your attention goes is where your manifestation flows. So, hi, Jason. Yeah, where your attention goes is where your manifestation flows. So I think you're really working hard on becoming a master of your own mind, you know, and you've put in a lot of this work, Aries, to heal whatever this abscess on your soul was, you know. And like abscess, you can't just cover them up with a Band-Aid, because then they just creep on the inside. They end up all pussy and festering, you know, and that's what happens when we don't do the internal work. It will surface. You know, it has no choice but to surface, or it's going to infect you and you end up with sepsis, you know? And I think that you are actually putting the work in and doing the work, Aries. So good job. All right. So we're going to play our first round of fine tune our intuition. Okay. I love these cards. So these little cards right here are the cards that we will be using. All right. There's like a little squiggly line. Like there's some squiggly lines. There's a plus sign. There's stars, squares, circles. Okay. So I want you guys to get a real good visual of those images in your head. All right. You get it, got it good? You got the plus sign, the water, or the squiggly lines, the star, the square, and the circle. All right. I'm going to shuffle them all together. And then we are going to play Let's Fine Tune Our Intuition. I love it. It's super fun. I think these are fun. Make sure they're good and shuffled. No peeking. No peeking. All right, y'all ready? I'm going to say it's a star. Whoo! Flipped it. One for me. Let's do it again. Ready? I swear I'm not peeking. I won't name them. I'll let you guys name them. What is it? Anybody got a guess? What is it? It's the squiggly lines, squiggly lines. What do we got now? There is no heart. There's a circle, a square, a plus sign, the squiggly lines, and what is it? Circle, square, and a star. It's a circle, a square, a star, a squiggly lines, or a plus sign. Ooh, wave on that one. We got 3 cards down. Ready? Circle. Ready? Square. Anybody get that right? Let me know if I'm going too fast. Squiggly lines. What do you think it is? Ooh, plus. Good job, Michael. Okay, so you won one. So I'm going to give you a free yes or no message. All right. So I need you to think of a yes or no question in your head. Let me know when you are ready for your answer. All right. Let me know if you're ready. A free yes or no question. All right. Ooh. So we have a no here with the death in the upright and the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Hierophant in the reverse. I would say that there is definitely a no. That is a no. Not sure what your question is, but the answer is nada. All right. All right. Now we're going to keep going with this intuition. Ready? Hi. Hi, Julie. Play and fine tune our intuition. So we have pluses and circles, squares, a star, and squiggly lines. What do you think it is? Ooh, good job. Good job. All right, Mom. You get a yes or no question. Let me know when you're ready. Ready? All right. Well, you were ready before I was. Let's see. All right. One yes, one no question. Or yes or no, universe, for Whack Crafter's question. So we have two reversals and one upright. So I would say the answer is no, especially with the tower there. At least the tower didn't come in the upright. But you have the Fool in reverse. So if you're thinking about, jumping onto something, taking some sort of leap, if you're going to be leaping, no leaping for you. Okay? No leaping. So the answer is no. All right, let's do it again. Fine tune our intuition. What is it? Is it a star, a circle, a square, little squiggly lines, or a plus sign? We got one for wave. We got any more guesses? Not a penis, Julie. What else we got? Plus sign. So we got one for wave. Julie's doesn't count. And we got a plus sign. Square. Nobody guessed a square. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Fine tune your intuition. What is it? We got one for circle. Plus sign. Plus sign. We got two for plus sign. All right. It is a square again. Rigged. Oh, yes. All right. Michael says waves. My mom says it's rigged. I don't see how it could be rigged. Blink. There's no blink. Any more guesses? Ooh, waves. All right, Michael. Want another yes or no question? Got another yes or no question. Yeah, if you want to do it. So this one is a yes. This one is a yes. Two upright and one in the reverse, that's a yes. So if you're asking anything about, it's like the end of some suffering, the end of somebody being out in the cold, like somebody's out in the cold and they want to know if it's ending, and there is some teamwork that's going to happen. So that is a yes. All right. Let's do it again. Do it again. Ready? Squiggly lines. So the waves, the plus sign, the star, circle, square. Julie, you got the star. Good job. All right, so think of a yes or no question. You got your yes or no question ready? Is this a yes or a no for Julie? Yes or no? Yes or no for Julie? No, no maybes. Your answer is nada. Nada tostada. No. It says no. I would say no. You should not send that picture to your stepdaughter, okay? Don't do it. Maybe, yeah, that's totally a Libra answer. All right, let's do this again. What is it? Ready? No guesses? It is the star. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and read for Taurus, and then we'll do that again after Taurus, okay? We'll play a couple more of those. We've done Aries. Let's do Taurus. I got my new little Harry Potter pin that my friend India gave me. Taurus. All right. What do you need to know right now, Taurus? What does the Taurus collective need to know right now? Right meow. What does the Taurus collective need to know right meow? Please, universe, source, spirit, give me the best message for our Taurus collective. Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Tower, the Five of Pentacles. So you got two queens sitting on their thrones right here. You know, somebody must have been speaking their truth about how they felt about something. You know, it might have been some harsh truth, but it was definitely, you know, it was definitely like some sort of truth. Maybe it was truth meant to hurt. Hopefully it wasn't truth meant to hurt somebody, because there's a difference when you compile things that are just truths and it just happens to hurt somebody, or if you're actually compiling truths to hurt somebody. So make sure you're not compiling truths and using emotions. Like keep your truths and your emotions away from trying purposely to hurt someone, you know. But the Queen of Swords is in the upright and the Queen of Cups is in the upright. So I really think that you are sitting real stern with whatever it is that you decided. You know, and you have the Tower here. Like either this is a tower for you or it caused a tower for somebody else. And it's like you know exactly what you want, but it feels like you were left out in the cold from it. You were left out in the cold from some sort of something that you know, that you had a real solid interest in. You know, maybe speaking this truth like caused a tower moment. But I mean, towers only fall if they're built on faulty foundation, you know. If you're building on faulty foundation, then that tower is going to crumble. So there might have been something that was built, you know, in swampland, and you tried to make this whole swampland thing work. And I think you just realized that your heart and your mind weren't into the swamp, you know. And it's like somebody's feeling out in the cold, you know, and they're kind of like in their mind about it. You know, are they good enough? They're never to be good enough. Like they have a lot of the Furies. I call these guys the Furies there, that are trying to stop you from your fullest potential. But then Apollo comes down, the sun god, and he's like, no, you know, you are worthy. Apollo is like looking at these Furies like, don't you fuck with them. You know what I mean? Like, you might have some people that have your back. There's somebody that has your back for sure on whatever this tower moment was, because you were very discerned with your words and with your heart. You know, your heart and your mind were very matter of fact. You know, they were in balance with each other. When you've got your mind and your heart together, it's like one wasn't leading the other and the other wasn't leading that one. You know, you weren't all fact and no feeling, and you weren't all feeling and no fact. Like, you have a good combination of fact and feeling, you know, and it might have caused a tower, either a tower for you, but not all towers are bad. You know, sometimes everything has to fall apart in order for it to fall in place. You know, and you might kind of feel like lost, you're not sure, you know, kind of out in the cold, but there is somebody that's got your back, that's going to stop whatever, you know, if you're being bullied by somebody, or, you know, somebody with authority has got your back. Yeah, and you're walking away. I think you have made that final decision to walk away. And I think it was the right decision, Taurus, because your mind and your heart are balanced. You know, you got both Queen of Swords and Queen of Cups on the table. And that really might have caused a tower moment for somebody and threw them out in the cold, you know, but ultimately, I think you made the right choice. Because you're definitely walking away from something. And the Three of Wands. But don't expect nobody to come apologizing to you or groveling at your feet, or, you know, admitting that they did anything wrong. Like, they're not going to admit that they did anything wrong. They're not going to see it as you were successful by following your own heart and your own mind. And whatever it is that anybody's saying about you, it ain't none of your business anyways. You know, let them say whatever. Our biggest freaking strength is being able to hold our tongue when we're angry. And the Magician. Yeah, you're moving on to you're manifesting bigger and better things, happier places. You know, like, you knew you weren't happy in this situation, and your mind and your heart were both in agreement with whatever this tower moment was. So I really do think that you made the right decision, Taurus. All right, let's play some more Fine Tune Your Intuition. Fine tune your intuition. Should I timestamp these guys too? 48. Why not? Okay, ready? So for any of you that are just joining us, I'm playing this Fine Tune Your Intuition game, where we have these stars as like those cards that you see on Ghostbusters, where he keeps zapping that dude even though he was getting it right. So we have the circle, we have the squiggly lines, we have the square, we have a plus sign, and we have a star. All right. And I'm giving free yes or no readings to whoever I see pop up on my screen with the right answer. So keep those images in your mind. All right. And let's play Fine Tune Our Intuition as the crowd goes wild. Ready? I think it's fun. All right. One of my friends used to call that my thinking noise. She's making, you're making your thinking noises. Anybody got a guess? Ooh, we got one guesser. We got a plus sign. Ready? Any other guessers? Circle. Let's try it again. Oh, you did say circle. I guess my thing was lagging. Okay, do you want a yes or no question? Or do you want one of these spiritual as fuck cards? Miss Circle. Do you want a yes or no question? Or do you want me to pull one of these cards for you? Card? Okay. So you can see that I'm not rigging the deck over here. Integrity is the new black. Integrity means that having your actions match your values. Most of the time, integrity takes a lot of not doing stuff, not smacking people, not yelling at people, not talking shit, not stealing stuff, not lying, not littering, and not eating your roommate's last gluten-free soy vegan pizza roll. That doesn't even sound good. When the temptation is strong to do bad things, sometimes it helps to write down the good things and put it in your back pocket. It's hard to justify smacking someone when you have an ass pressed up against the word compassion. It's lagging. Are you guys there? Is it still lagging? All right, we got another one. Fine tune your intuition. What is it? Is it a circle? Is it a star? Is it a square? Is it a plus sign? Or is it wavy lines? We got one for square, square. Anybody else? Let's see. It is the wave. Oh, you got it, Michael. Waves. I'm going to pull you one of these cards from this guy. What does Michael need to know from the Spiritual as Fuck deck? What does Michael need to know from the Spiritual as Fuck deck? I guess I don't need to shuffle them. I'm just going to open it to one. It says, your brain speaks total fuckery unless you turn your soul on. A human brain left unattended doesn't shut down. It goes berserk with bullshit thoughts that turn into bullshit actions. Ego will do its job of judging, separating, and accumulating things to define who you are without any help from you. But the soul needs your attention to be heard over that loud-ass ego. There's a reason most truly successful people meditate, read inspiring books, focus on gratitude, and are of service to others in some way. It turns their soul on, and that makes them way better leaders, problem solvers, and functional humans. It also makes them way more fun to be around. Do you know how you could tell the difference between your soul and your intuition and your ego? Your ego, like your intuition will come in as a feeling, and then your ego will automatically take over and start speaking to you in words. So your intuition doesn't speak a language, it speaks a frequency. It's your ego that takes over in a millisecond and starts trying to calculate, what the intuition was telling it. That's like the best way if you could tell if your ego has taken over or if your intuition, like if you're just sitting there one day and like you just get this sudden rush of like this feeling of inspiration, or you feel like you just need to take a left, out of nowhere, or you got to just call this person, or you got to, you just get this rush of this feeling, and then your mind automatically starts taking over, and then it starts talking to you. Like usually our inside voices are our own voice, so if you start talking to yourself right away in your head, then chances are your ego took over whatever it was that your intuition was trying to tell you, so that it could calculate and accept, calculate and evaluate, its pros and cons, or the direction, because the ego wants to be in control, All right, so we are going to move on to Gemini. 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 What do we got for Gemini? Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Like, for reals. My freaking passion is trying to help others, like, learn how to be, masters of their own mind, and to transmute trauma and to heal all the little broken parts. Like, if I could do one thing professionally, like, if I could pick my dream job besides doing what I'm doing, I would be a professional hugger. I would just hug people. I would just give healing hugs to everyone, everywhere. I mean, it's not like I don't already do that, but if there was a list of things where they're like, yo, you could sign up for this and, do this for the rest of your life and make a living doing it, I would do it for free. Gemini. That's another way how you could tell about what you're passionate about. We have a lot of hobbies, or we go to work every day and we have this job, but whatever you're passionate about, you will do it for free, Like, it would be cool to get paid to do stuff, but you can tell if you're truly passionate about it if you're willing to do it no matter what. If you just enjoy doing it. What do we got for Gemini? What does Gemini need to know right now? It looks like somebody spoke their mind to you, you know what I mean, in like a real negative way, and it's taken all of your strength not to go smack a bitch, It's taken all of your strength not to fall back into old habits. I feel like somebody said something off the wall to you, and the old you would have jumped hook, line, and sinker into agreeing to partake in that game with them. But the new you is like holding back and holding your mouth, holding what it is you really want to say, you know, because you've done too much work to be engaging with these fools, you know? You've done too much work, you've put too much work in to be engaging with these fools. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like somebody might have passed judgment on you without even really knowing anything about you, you know, and instead of ripping them a new asshole, like you're holding yourself back. And whoever this is a sneaky, manipulative fuck bag. You know, they're really trying to get your goat. They're really trying to push you into saying something stupid or doing something stupid so they can be like, look, see, I told you she was a blah, 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 blah. You know, look, I told you that she was crazy. You know, they push all your buttons and push all your buttons just to get this reaction out of you, just so they can say that they were right. You know, look, I was right. And I think that you've done a lot of inner work, Gemini, about not falling into that game. You're not falling into that game. Like, you ain't going to let it go. You know, it's not like you're just letting it go, but you're not going to play their game. You might forgive, but you'll never forget. You know, when you've worked too hard to be in your own state of mind with your own frequency, yeah, with the temperance at the bottom, you've worked too hard working on your own emotions and building your own peace to let this shady fool come in and steal it from you. It's like they're trying to steal your peace, and they're using their words to say it, to do it, you know? And it's taken you a whole lot to just sit back and not participate. Not participate in agreeing to exchange with this energy. You know, energy is like an exchange. Like, we're all agreeing. When we have a reaction to somebody else's action, then we are agreeing to that frequency, you know? And you're not tuning in. You are not tuning into that frequency. Like, you're not going to let it go. You're not just going to let it slide. You know, you're not going to try to talk yourself into thinking that, you know, maybe you overreacted, or, you know, like you guys are really smart, you know? And you're not going to talk your own self out of letting this person get away with whatever it is that they did, you know? But you're also not going to agree to be in that vibration. You're not going to agree to be upset. You're not, I mean, you might be upset, but you're not going to agree to play their game with them. Yeah, please remember to smash that like button. Smash that little like button. Say hello. So, Gemini, I think you're doing a really good job at holding yourself back from engaging. Like, you ain't hanging out in fucktardia, you know what I mean? Ain't hanging out in the hood. You ain't, you're like, no, I've worked too hard. Worked too hard to be hanging out in the hood. So you ain't letting it go. You know, you're not just going to let them slide and let them slide right back in, but you're also not going to engage into any sort of argument with this person or any sort of confrontation. You're not going to put your energy into an exchange of that sort whatsoever. All right. I'm going to do this fine-tune your intuition stuff again. Let's try it again. What we got? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. We got a plus. waves. What do you think it is? Star. All right, Michael, I'll pull one of these cards for you. It says maybe you literally can even. Think you can't even? Slow your eye roll. Like, don't be rolling your eyes into another dimension, you know? Step back and give it another think. Guess what? Chances are you probably can, even with a way better attitude and some love in your heart. If you catch yourself feeling like a basic bitching out on someone, take a deep breath, call on all your hood rat angels, remember that you and all beings are tiny specks of the divine, and surprise yourself with how you literally just evened. So maybe you literally can even, like, oh my God, you totally can. All right, now we're going to move on to Cancer. What sort of messages do we need right now? Right meow for Cancer. I just got deck swap. Deck swap. What sort of messages do we have for Cancer? What does Cancer need to know right meow? What does Cancer need to know right meow? Cancer. What sort of messages do we have for Cancer? Got the Ten of Cups with the Temperance. The Nine of Swords. 11 of Cups. We have no, 2 of Cups. So Cancer, it feels like you are avoiding temptation. You know, you're avoiding temptation. Maybe there's like some sort of offer on the table, you know, but you're like still healing. You're still trying to stitch yourself back together so you could get back up. You got the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. So you're not sure, like, either you're real indecisive or they're real indecisive. And you're trying to avoid the temptation of getting sucked into some sort of drama. It's like you feel like you just put yourself back together, you know? It's like, I just put myself back together. With the Ace of Cups, and you got this new love opportunity. It's like you just put yourself back together and now you got this new love opportunity. You know, and you're putting all the past behind you. The Queen of Cups. It's like, but you're scared to put your heart out there, you know? Either you're scared or they're scared of putting their heart out there. Yeah, I feel like you had some sort of major ending. There was a major ending, but I also feel like the Death card to me is like Archangel Azrael. Archangel Azrael like has to transmute every single person's energy into pure light to present to God, you know? So Azrael has seen every single person's want, desire, regret, wish, shouldn't have, should have, you know, along with the people that are attached to the person that's passed on. So as I feel like you have a lot of regrets and you're trying not to do anything that you would regret. You know, but if you'll regret not doing something, like if you're on your deathbed and you have this opportunity to either be with this person or to start this business or to follow your passions, you know, if you're on your deathbed and you think that you'll regret not going after it, then you should definitely go after it, you know. But I feel like you've got some sort of temptation. You got a lot of twos, a lot of choices. It's like you have so many different options and you're not sure which one is the right one for you. You know, should I go left or should I go right? Should I take this job or should I, you know, move here or stay there? Or should I just throw a dart at the map and see where it lands? Oh, you figured out your star chart? You're a Cancer rising. I can totally see that. I can totally see that you're a Cancer rising. But you're faced with like too many options, you know? Like, do I have stuff in this hand or do I have stuff in this hand? And I have this place that I could go and I have that place I could go. I have this job I could have. I have that job I have. And it's like, it doesn't seem like you're burdened by it though. You know, it doesn't feel like it's a burden to you. You just have so many options. You got the Wheel of Fortune. So whatever it is that you actually end up choosing, as long as you avoid this temptation, you know, which you are because it's in the reverse anyways, as long as you avoid the temptation of being chained to the devil, you know, by your mind or your spirit or your heart. And I think you will you will be moving on to like more prosperous times here. Because you got the Ace of Cups, you got the Two of Cups. You know, something that's definitely more worth your time. The one thing about the Wheel of Fortune is like my favorite card because it's like no matter what, it changes. No matter if it's the darkest, you know, moment of your life, like it won't always be that way. You know, the sun will come up tomorrow. There's always an opportunity that everything can change. They call it the fate of the Morari. Fate of Morari. The Eight of Cups. It's like, but you can't walk away from whatever it is that you're doing. Like you can't walk away, or somebody can't walk away. Like you can't leave where you're at, or, you know, like you feel like you're committed to something or bound by some sort of contract. You know, and I don't think it's like a soul contract. I think it's like, you know, a work contract or a living contract. Or I think you would totally take a leap of faith. You know, or maybe that's the way that this person is. Maybe they're bound by some sort of contract, you know, that they can't get out of. Or they'd be totally taking a leap of faith too. But I think you should avoid temptation and just know that whatever it is that you do decide to do, it will be prosperous. It will be prosperous. All right. Let's move on to the Leo gang. Leo, what do we got for the Leo collective? Leo. Leo. Let me see. Where'd my other ones go? Deck swap. Sorry, guys. Let me grab my other deck here. All right, Spirit, Source, what do you got for the Leo collective? What sort of messages do you have for the Leo collective? What do they need to know right now? What does Leo need to know right now? Ugh. Who, Leo? You got your card in the reverse position, but it's followed by the strength. So, like, there might be, like, whew. Yeah, you definitely feel like you are backed into a corner, that you have no other choices, that everything that you put your work into has failed. You know, you're kind of like on this, like, I don't even know why I try, because every time I try, it fails. You know, like, you just feel like you're constantly in this, like, battle mode. You're constantly, like, either you constantly are in a battle mode, or you constantly feel like you're in a battle mode. You know, because you got the sun in reverse. That's your card, Leo. But you also have the strength in the upright, and that's also your card. So it's like you're kind of like, it's like you're fighting battles, and you're holding on, and you're fighting and fighting, and you've got all of this competition, and you feel like you're backed into a corner, you know, and you're not happy about it, but you know you'll get through it. You know, you might not be happy with whatever this situation is, and you might be feeling terrible and heartbroken and like giving up, but at the same time, you know that you'll make it. It's like a weird conundrum, right? Yeah, you're waiting for, like, you're trying to figure out how to drop some of this burden, you know, so that you can work with some, like, a collective, like a collaboration of people. You might be waiting on a message, you know, maybe the message that you're waiting on will relieve some burden from you. Like, you could be looking at some sort of collaboration with somebody, you know, but it feels like you feel like you were that pushed against a wall, you know, that you're backed into a corner and you have no choice, but you're kind of like desperately waiting for this message, this piece of mail, this something that will relieve this burden from you. Something that will relieve the burden from you. Yeah, I feel like you are going to get that message though, Leo. And whatever this message is that you're waiting for, or if you're waiting for like a confirmation in the mail from something or from somebody, or, you know, like if you're waiting for an acceptance letter, um, I would say don't give up on it. Like, don't put all your eggs into this other basket that you've been fighting so hard for. It's like that you just feel like you're beating your head against the wall. You know, you will receive some sort of message, or you will receive some sort of acceptance letter. Like, I don't know if it's from school, or a loan that you're waiting for is getting approved. But whatever this message is it's going to relieve a lot of burden from you. It is prosperous. Like, you are going to receive that message. And it's like, look, you're just chilling. Like, in the end, you'll just be chilling, kicked back, sipping on gin and juice, laid back. Put your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Let's see, what else can we get for Leo? What is that? Oh, you got the lovers. That's what fell out. You got the lovers. So whatever it is, that's really important to you. This is really, really important to you. Whatever this message is, like maybe you're waiting for somebody to message you, you know, or maybe you're trying to get up enough courage to message somebody else, you know. But it's really important to you. This is a really important, like, step in your process. I feel like you'll be able to kick your feet up, and no more of that. No more being burdened, you know, but right now you feel like right now you are in this. Right now you are in this storm. You know, you're not even in the eye of the storm, so it's not all quiet. Like you feel like there's debris flying everywhere, that you are backed into a corner and you don't know what to do. But I guarantee you that the relief is coming. The relief is coming. You will get that message. You will get that acceptance letter. You will get that contract that's super important to you, rather it be a person, you know, a business proposal, whatever it is, that message that you're waiting for, you're going to get it. And you're going to be so happy. So just remember that this storm will not last forever. Can't rain all the time, y'all. Can't rain all the time. All right, let's try this intuition thing again. You want to do it again? Waves. The Nine of Swords is a rough card to be in, but I mean, it's only one card away from the 10, which is completion, you know? The Nine of Swords is like, that's definitely mental, like, mental fuckery. And it's usually like, but that just means that you're one step closer to the 10. Circle. Okay, what else we got? Good job, Julie. I'm going to pull you one of these cards, okay? How about this one? Look at the fucking moon. Just look at that thing. It's lovely as fuck, right? You're welcome. So maybe you need to take some time to actually appreciate some of the things that are actually really extraordinary in this world right now. You know, like you might be so caught up in the everyday hustle and bustle that it's like we forget that we're floating on a rock through space, and you know that none of the planets collided while we were sleeping. You know that there's miracles out there. You know, maybe you need to take some time to just look at the moon. I'm gonna pull you one more. I already got that one. Courage is knowing that it might hurt and doing it anyways. Stupidity is the same. That's why life is hard. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, but wisdom comes from doing things that, you know, like most of the wisest people out there they weren't just born like that. You know, they had to go through trials and errors and make a fool of themselves and be made a fool of, and, you know, get their heart ripped out and fall down and get back up and fall down and get back up. Some of the wisest people that you will ever meet aren't the people that have like lived a life of floating on unicorns and pooping rainbows. You know what I mean? Like the wisest people you will ever know have been through some of the hardest shit. You know, but you'll never know if it's courageous or if it's stupid. But either way, you're going to learn something. You know, either way, it's a win-win. Even if it's courageous or it's stupid, either way, it's a win-win. Because the only mistakes you make in life are the ones that you don't learn from. If you honestly don't know that something's a mistake, then how is it a mistake? It's a mistake. You'll have an opportunity to do it again. The universe will test you to see if you're still stupid or if you're just courageous. You know? It says, what's the difference between courage and stupidity in your life? A big part of adulting is not crossing the line where your rebelliousness turns into recklessness. The people who ride this line most gracefully usually have a clear eye on their values and a good friend or two who will tell them when they're being a dumbass. If you can't decide if you're being brave or stupid, call a friend. Hint, don't call a dumbass friend, though. Huh, right? Only mistakes we make in life are the ones we don't learn from. All right, let's go on to, what do we got? Virgo. The RGO. Virgo. Virgo. And they're not Beetlejuice cards, they're Nightmare Before Christmas. They're Nightmare Before Christmas cards. Beetlejuice cards would be really cool, though. What do the Virgo Collective need to know right now? What does the Virgo Collective need to know right now? Virgo Collective. Let me see here. It feels like you're out of your element. It feels like that you've been in your comfort zone for a long time, and it's like it feels like you are out of your element. Like you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Or something happened to where it made you have to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, just with the tower. Just as I was saying, like the tower comes out, but it's like it feels like you are out of your comfort zone. And it feels like you were forced to be out of your comfort zone. Ugh. With the star in reverse, you don't feel you don't see there's any end in sight or something. You know, like there's no hope. Don't give up hope, Virgo. Like sometimes we have to be shaken up. We have to be shaken up and kind of rearranged, you know? Take us out of our comfort zone so that we can grow. Like being stagnant means no growth. We got the Hangman and the Hermit. So if you look at this in a different perspective, you can see the opportunities for growth that are there, you know? We have the Strength card. I mean, the Hermit is your card. So even though you might be out of your element, like you are totally strong enough to take on whatever it is that you need to take on. Like you can do it. With the Moon. Just need a little shift in your perception. You know, sometimes things have to be stirred up and shaken around. Maybe you're making a big pot of soup, you stir all the ingredients together, you know? You don't just let them sit there. You gotta stir the pot a little bit. Gotta stir that pot. You can't just let it sit and simmer. It's gonna boil all away. You know, boil all your potential away. Boil all your creativity away. But I really feel like you are out of your comfort zone. Like something happened to make you be completely out of your comfort zone. And I'm not saying that you have to be happy and freaking go lucky about everything all the time, but there is silver linings to almost every situation. I can't say always in every situation because, you know, nothing is absolute. There's no absolutes. But there can be silver lining to the situation. The High Priestess, yeah. And the Temperance. It's like balancing your emotions. That Tower again. You know, towers only fall when they're built on faulty foundations. You know, not every tower is a bad thing. That leaves an opportunity for building for a future, you know, to build it right. You know, like learn from whatever it is that crumbled so that way you could build it right. It might be uncomfortable. It might be inconvenient. You know, towers are never convenient, but they're necessary. Because you do have the Ten of Cups, like you're surrounded by love. You've got lots of love around you. The Hierophant, you've got lots of committed love on top of it. Like there are people that are committed to helping you thrive, helping you succeed. You know, not every tower is bad. It's usually pretty inconvenient, but because they are sudden and abrupt and come out of nowhere. But do they really come out of nowhere? I mean, lightning doesn't just strike out of a clear blue sky. Like you could kind of see that the storm is coming, that there's some sort of storm coming, you know? And we usually have a tendency to ignore it. But this way it'll give you opportunity to build on more solid ground. So that way you can really build something that lasts. You know? It's giving you an opportunity for growth, for experience. Because being stuck in your comfort zone, man, like you don't get nothing. You can't grow in your comfort zone. It's nice being in a comfort zone. You know? Sometimes peace is nice, especially to people that have lived like a real chaotic life. You know, when they're so used to constant chaos. You know, some people become addicted to that chaos though too. And then they're like, they pray for boredom, you know, pray for peace. When they find peace, they end up being bored. And it's like, but you asked for peace. All right, Virgo, that was your what needed to be known. Right meow. Let's do another one of these guys. Is it a squiggly line? What do we got? Fine tune your intuition. What is it? Circle, star. Circle. All right. Let's read you one of these guys. This one. Be the change you wish to see up in this biatch. Hey, you, the one who sees what's wrong in the world, and the one that the one knows that the difference between being an activist and being a whiny ass complainer is action. You want the world to be more kind? Kind the fuck out on people in your life. Hate litter bugs? Pick up some trash. Can't stand judgmental behavior? Quit judging them for being so judgmental. It's really kind of that simple, right? Be the change that you want to see. That goes for all kinds of things, though. It like we have no control over anybody else, but we can definitely fucking take the lead. You know, if we take the lead on something and lead by example, then usually people start following suit. You know, they see you doing something, they see you putting an improvement, they usually they follow suit with that. They a lot of people like to be led by example. You know, it's inspiring to see somebody going out and doing something that they wanted, you know, want to see done instead of like just sitting around bitching about it. You're good at whining. Well, I guess if you got to be good at something, you're good at lots of things, Mom, not just whining. All right, Virgo. So let's go to Libra. 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 What sort of messages do the Libra collective need to hear right now? What sort of messages do the Libra crew need to hear right now? No, not this deck. Let's get a different deck. Let's use, I like this one. This one's like my oldest deck. This is the one that like I've had forever and ever and ever. I resonate really well with this deck. It's all based off of Greek mythology. Libra, what sort of messages do we have for Libra? Are you reminiscing about the good old days, Libra? Reminiscing about the good old days? Ooh, King of Cups, King of Wands, and King of Swords. What is up with all these kings right here, Libra? There are some pretty sexy kings you got going on there. That's 3 kings, man. And the sun in the upright. Like some of y'all could be dealing with a Leo. Like you ain't worried about it. Whatever it is, ooh, but you got the lovers in reverse. How are you going to have three kings, but ain't none of them like what, your soul contract? Maybe you're scared, Libra. Or someone's scared. You got the lovers in reverse. You got 3 kings sitting there, but the lovers in reverse. But I just get this feeling like you ain't worried about it. You ain't worried about love. You ain't worried about any of these options that are out there. You ain't even worried about trying to find it. You know that whenever it comes, it'll come. Like you're hopeful. You know that the sun comes up. Like you just ain't even worried. I think you've finally broken your place of codependency. You know, maybe you used to be really codependent in the past and you were like really seeking attention, you know, and really like searching for someone to love you, love you, love you. Anybody love me, you know? And I think that you have broken the cycle of codependency. Like you are no longer trapped in this like mind prison of constantly seeking validation from some sort of source outside yourself. You know, like you don't need no lover to be happy. Like you're perfectly happy by yourself, you know? It's like but you do have some viable options on the table here. You have the King of Wands, the King of Cups, and the King of Swords. But the King of Swords, you know, be careful of that air sign. If you've got 3 different options, be careful of that air sign. Because they aren't quite sitting in their throne yet. But you just ain't even worried about it. Like you're not paying attention to any of it. You're like, nah, I'm cool. I got me. You're with the High Priestess. You're like, no. Like you've broken your cycle of codependency. Like before, maybe you would have paid attention to anybody who said you were pretty or handsome, you know? Oh, this person said I was handsome, you know? And like you would jump right into it right away and be all head over heels in love just to find out that like they didn't really truly love you. They just loved the idea of you. You know, some people don't really truly love somebody. They love the idea of being in love. That's why they switch from partner to partner to partner, you know, with the devil. Some people are addicted to being in love. You know, that honeymoon phase part of the relationship. But you do have one of these options that's sneaky. And it's the freaking sword sign, whatever this air sign is over here. I wouldn't pay no attention to that air sign. I think they're really good at telling you what you want to hear, you know, and getting into your mind and playing with your heartstrings. But I don't think you have to worry about it, Libra. Like, I really think that you are very aware. It's like you're aware. And you're not interested in losing your sense of self within someone else. It's like you've lost yourself so many times by being in love with somebody else. It's like you were more in love with them than you were you know? And I think now like you're more in love with you than you are with, you know, with anybody else out there. Not to say that you can't have mutual love with somebody. You're just not overly concerned about it. But I'd say if you're dealing with an air sign, they're kind of sneaky. Unless that's you, Libra. Unless you're being sneaky. But I don't think it's you. But I could be partial because I'm an air sign, so. Yeah, stay away from any of that shit. You know, stay away from people that are in active addiction. Like if you're in active addiction, like you got somebody in recovery and then you're hanging out with a bunch of people that, you know, want to drink and want to do this and want to do that, like don't go hanging out with people that could pull you back into whatever this like tie you had, rather it be the codependency. Like don't be letting somebody pull on your strings and get you back into being codependent on someone else, you know. Don't give your heart away too fast and then you know, be codependent on that person for your happiness. Like don't fall back into your old traits, whatever it is here. Like you just don't fall back into your old ways, rather that be codependency, rather that be addiction, rather that be, you know, any of that kind of stuff. Don't fall back into it. All right, Libra? Like keep your head high. Keep your emotions in check. Keep your heart with you, you know, make sure that you're taking care of you and that it's not a codependent relationship, that you're not just looking for anybody to love you. You know, you're not just jumping into bed with the first person that tells you that you're handsome or that you're, you know, beautiful, you know, like wait it out a minute, see who this person is. See what kind of person they are. You know, it's one thing, like people put on these masks and they are the best versions of themselves that they can be within the first couple of months that you meet them. But boy, after you get to know them for a little bit, like then their true colors start coming out. Like my mom always said, it takes 3 months for somebody for them to show you their true colors. You know, after about 3 months, you start seeing some things that are like, I don't know about this, you know. So I wouldn't give out your heart fully until at least after 3 months, until you get to know somebody and like see how they act under stressful situations, you know, see how they, you know, act with their children, see how they act just in public in general, like see how they carry themselves, you know, like you want to be with somebody that you could be proud of. You want to be somebody that you could be proud of, you know, like, yeah, that's my man, or yeah, that's my woman right there. Like you just sit back and watch them, you know, and they don't even know that you're watching them and you see them do amazing shit and you're just like, yeah, that's my woman right there. You know, somebody that you could be proud of, not somebody that you're like, oh, like I'm going to go get this bitch. Gotta go home. I'm so sorry guys for the way my chick acted or the way my dude acted. Like, I'm so sorry guys, you know, or like just kind of hold back. You know, don't get caught back into that whole, you know, giving your heart out and then being codependent, being reliant on another person for them to make you happy, because nobody can make you happy. Nobody on this planet can make you happy. They can increase your happiness, you know, but once that love phase goes away or whatever, then what are you left with? Like you're drained. That's why people are addicted to being in love. You know, they're in love with the idea of being in love, because they like that endorphins, that rush that you get when it's all brand new and everything's all bubbly. You know, that's an addiction all by itself. So don't get all caught up in that. All right. Now we are on Scorpio. Scorpios. I'll do Scorpio and then we'll do another round of this fine tune your intuition. Scorpio, what do we got for my Scorpio people? What sort of messages does universe need you to know right now? Scorpio. What sort of messages does the universe need you to know? Scorpio. Ooh, that one wanted to jump. What is it? These two wanted to jump. Ooh, Scorpio, you are ready to pack your bags and get the fuck on with some shit. Like you're like, I don't care where I go, but I am not staying here. And you are going with the quickness. You are like, vroom, beep, beep. You're like, I don't care where I go, but I cannot stay here. I'm not sure exactly what that means to you, Scorpio, but you're like, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. I'm away. I'm getting away. You might be dealing with somebody that's shady as well, Scorpio. Like you might have figured out that, no matter how many chances you give this person to be a good person, they're just not a good person. You got the Magician in the reverse and the Seven of Swords in the upright. Like whoever it is that you're dealing with, Scorpio, like, especially if you feel like you're in danger. Like I know how hard it is to get away from an abusive situation. Like everybody's like, well, why don't you just leave, but until you're in that situation, you don't know how hard it is to actually break free from like a controlling, like super like controlling abusive, especially if somebody's like physically abusive. But I think you've finally figured out for yourself, Scorpio, that like you can't stay here. You don't care where you're going. You don't care how you got to get out because you are getting away. Like that's terrible. Whatever you've got going on with this person is no bueno, Scorpio. So if you need to go, like if you are in an abusive situation and you need to go to a shelter or something, like there are resources out there. There are resources out there that will let you take your children. You know, I know that it's hard because you're like, I don't want to, cause any trouble I don't want to have court cases and to do all that. But it's not going to get better, Scorpio. Like you've given this person enough opportunities to try to be a good person, and they have proven to you over and over and over again that they are not a good person. So you need, like, with the quickness to get away from whoever this is, because I mean they got the Seven of Swords and the Magician in the reverse, Two of Cups is in the reverse. Like there's no love there. There is no love there. And I know, like, sometimes it feels like it's impossible. It's like, I can't get away from them. I just can't, I don't know how to break free from them. Every time that I try, they end up right at my house after work. They're watching me or they're stalking me from here, or they follow me around, or they cause problems if I try to go get help. They cause problems with my friends, but you need, if you're in a dangerous situation, like I feel like you're like in some sort of dangerous situation, Scorpio, that you really need to get out of. And that's one thing, like if somebody's abusive to you, it might take a group of sisters. Maybe you've got a bunch of sisters or some friends or wherever that you could go. It might take a group of people to protect you from this person. Call out to your girls, man. Like, hey, like I feel like somebody desperately needs to get away from some sort of dangerous situation with a partner that they're in. Like call your friends. Call your friends, get people around you, go somewhere safe, because it's not going to get better. And if they've already done this once, they will do it again. Every person that's ever been like physically abusive, they're always like send you roses and flowers and tell you about how sorry they are, and that it'll never happen again, and they act like the perfect person for like maybe a month if you're lucky, and then it's right back to it. And the scary part about these kind of situations is that however the worst fight that you got into, it's going to start at that momentum the next time. And then the next time, then if it gets worse the next time, it'll start right back up where it left off. Like the intensity will not go away. It's not going to get better. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but yeah, you really need to get out of there, Scorpio. Get yourself in a safe position. Call on some of your people. It might take a village to get you out of that situation, but you need to get out of that situation. And I know it's scary. It's super scary, and it's way harder than people even understand sometimes. Only those that have been in it know. I mean, yeah. Just get out of that situation, Scorpio. That looked dangerous. That looked like a dangerous situation. And it's not going to get better. I promise you, it is not. They are not going to get better. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. That hurts, man. Whew, that one was rough. Scorpio, I'll be sending you, like, I'll be praying for you. I will be, you know, like whoever that message was for, like I'm sending you all the strength in the world that you can break free from that situation. Shake that off. Whew. All right. Let's do this again. Let me clear out some space. Fine tune your intuition. Are you guys still there? Yeah. Is it a circle? Is it a square? Is it a squiggly line? Is it a plus sign? Or is it a star? You're right. Good job. Let's see what a card says for you. Stop saying yes to shit you hate. Ain't that the truth? We say yes to dumbass shit because we want to be cool, to caretake others, and because we think we need a reason to say no. The people we say no to may never understand why we needed to say no in order to be true to ourselves. You don't even have to know why you said yes in the past. Don't get stuck in a process spiral about it. If you're not into it, just stop saying yes and move the fuck on. Right? That was a huge lesson that I had to learn in my life. I did so much dumbass shit and made so many dumbass decisions because I said yes when I really wanted to say no because I didn't know how to say no. What do we got? Square, circle, star, squiggly line. Plus sign. All right, let's move on to Sagittarius. Saggy Wadgy. What do my Sagittarius friends need to know right now? Right? Meow. What sort of messages do my Sagittarius friends need to know right now? Well, the message I'm getting is there's some sort of, like, your child might be heartbroken, or there's some sort of patience that you need to be having with someone that's like a child, you know, like your child or someone's child that's close to you, someone that you consider like one of your own, like one of your own heart tribe, might be going through something that's really difficult and painful, you know. It might be going through some sort of pain, and you might be feeling it for them, Sagittarius. You know, and you're not sure about what to do about it. You don't know how to give them the answers. You don't know how to make it stop hurting, you know. You don't know how to make it stop hurting. You know how to make it go away. But if it's a child that you're like angry with, I think you have to have some sort of patience. You have to have some sort of patience with this child. Like, they might be testing your patience. You know, they might be doing something that like like maybe they lied to you and that like hurt your heart. Either a child hurt you or your child is hurting, you know. And I really feel like you need to have some sort of like don't just fly off the handle at them, you know. I think you need to have some sort of like compassion for whatever this situation is, you know. Like, you definitely don't be saying a bunch of stuff that you'll regret later. Like, if you're angry at them and you're like screaming at them or whatever, like, don't belittle them, you know, because our parents' voices become like the voices in our head when we're older. You know what I mean? So, like, if they really made you angry or whatnot, just kind of take a step back and collect your thoughts and collect your cool, you know, get your cool back together. But if there's something that's going on with them, that they have a broken heart and you're trying to figure out what it is that you can do for them, really the only thing that they require from you is just like an open ear and, you know, an open ear and an open heart, you know, somebody that's not going to judge them for feeling. You know, you have to remember that your children have their own paths that they have to go through. They have their own heartbreaks that they got to go through. They have their own lessons that they need to learn. Like, we can't fix everything for them. And that's a rough thing to, like, as a parent, like, that's rough, you know, when you know that your child's hurting and you know that there's not really anything that you could do about it except for hug them and be there for them and like listen to them. Like, what they don't need to hear right now is like, look, I told you so, or any of that kind of stuff. Like, they're expecting that from you. Whatever it is, they're expecting the worst from you, you know? So try to change it up on them. Like, change it up on them a little bit. Like, maybe go out, you know, like maybe play a board game or spend some time as a family. Like, do something together with them, you know? Maybe they just need to get their head off of something. But I really feel like this energy feels like something to do with a child. Either a child's like really upset and you don't know how to fix it, or a child's made you really upset. Temperance. That's your card, Sagittarius. That's your card. And it feels like, you know, don't, like, not to say don't go crying over spilt milk, you know, but whatever it is that, like, just remind them that if it's a heartbreak or whatever, it might feel really, really heavy right now. But in the long run of things, like in 5 years from now, they're probably not even going to really remember what's going on. But don't scream at your kids and turning into something that started out small, and then from 5 years from now, they're always going to remember that one time. Well, you remember that one time that you know, did this and this and this, and like it turns into some sort of like traumatic core memory for them, you know? Like, make sure that you take a step back. I don't care how mad you are, you know, I don't care what it is that they did. Make sure you take a step back and breathe before there's some sort of like irreplaceable damage, you know, some sort of core memory that's stuck inside of them that, you know, you'll be hearing about when they're like 20 or something. Got the 9 of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely fighting a battle. I feel like you're not sure which approach to take. And if it's your kid that's hurting, you know, just be there from them. Don't tell them all these things that they already know. Like, they already know if they fucked up, they already know they fucked up, you know? Like, if your kid's an addict or something, don't tell them like how much they got to get clean. Like, they already know they need to get clean, you know? They already know that they need to do that. They don't need to hear that from you. They just need to hear that you love them, you know, and that you'll be there for them if they do decide to clean themselves up or whatnot. All right, Sagittarius. Move on to Capricorn. 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 What do we have for the Capricorn collective? What sort of messages do we need for the Capricorns? What do they need to know right meow? Right meow, Capricorn. What do you need to know right meow? I feel like somebody's in love with their money. Like somebody's more in love with their money and working money and getting their bag than they are like they are in love with the money. That could be you, Capricorn. Maybe you're in love with getting the bag. You know what I mean? But it's like I ain't got no time for nothing but collecting coins, you know? Out there gathering coins. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, but you might miss out on something if you just keep collecting all them coins, Capricorn. You might miss out on some sort of opportunity. But maybe some of y'all ain't even interested in love. You ain't interested. You know, because money comes and goes, man. Your time you never get back. Your money comes and goes. Money comes and goes. But your time, it'll never come back. So it's like if you're spending all of your time making money, then what are you going to do with all the money when you run out of time? Some of you might have like a time constraint, like maybe you're trying to make enough money to do something within a certain amount of time. But I feel like you're missing out on some sort of opportunity by focusing just on making money. You got the Empress. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like you're running out of time to make this money. So that's why you're so focused on it. And if you don't get enough, like you're going to lose an opportunity. Knight of Cups. Like you got to do it fast. You're trying to do it fast. Oop, and the Star card came out. So if that's what the case is, Capricorn, if you got to make a certain amount of money within a certain amount of time, like you're gonna succeed in that goal, but you're gonna miss out on some sort of opportunity in the process. You will succeed in making the money that you need by that certain amount of time, but you're almost there. It feels like you're almost there. Yeah, you can't take it with you. The Nine of Cups in reverse. Like you feel like you can't depend on anybody else. You can't depend on anybody else to get the work done for you, so you got to get the work done. But you refuse help if somebody's asking you for help. Like if somebody's trying to help you, it's like you refuse to either ask for help if you need it, or you won't accept the help if it's offered, especially if it's like something to do with money. You know, it might make you uncomfortable to have to ask somebody to borrow money, but maybe that's what you have to do, you know, because if you don't make the money in time, I mean, it says that you're hopeful to make the money in time, but it's definitely a burden to you. It is definitely a burden. But if you've got to ask for help, don't be scared to ask for help, you know. Even if it's from your higher self or your angels or your spirits. I mean, there's rules that go along with the angel kingdom too. Like they can't just come in and meddle in our affairs. You have to actually ask them. Like, don't be scared to ask for help if you need it. But I feel like a lot of you are really like time crunched about something to do with money, and either, you know, like you're hopeful to make it, but you're scared of asking anybody to help you do that. You're scared of asking for any sort of help to help you get to that goal. It's like, no, I got to do it on my own. I got to do it all by myself. Because if I ask somebody, then they're going to hold it over my head, or, you know, then I'm going to owe them like some sort of favor. You know, not everybody's like that. Not everybody gives out help just so they can hold it over your head. You know? And if you're giving out help, make sure it's something that you can actually afford and that you're not holding it over other people's heads either. Like, oh yeah, well, you remember that one time I helped you do this, so now you got to help me do that. You know, like that's we disappoint ourselves a lot by having these expectations. You know, we expect people to do this because I did this and this and this, so that means you should do this and this for me. You know, like don't do that. That's not doing it out of love. That's doing it out of some sort of like expectation or contract. Like if you genuinely want to help someone, you know, make sure you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart with no expectation of return, with no like nothing like that. Just make sure but also make sure that you can afford to do that. If you can afford to help this person mentally or spiritually or like physically if they need help or something, like make sure that you can actually afford whatever it is that you're giving them before you give it out. But don't expect anything from people. And also don't assume that everybody that gives you help expects it from you either. You know, assume equals ask out of you and me. Assume. Ask you me. All right, Capricorns. Now we're going to do this guy. Fine tune your intuition. Fine tune it. Is it a star? Is it a circle? Is it a square? Squiggly line or a plus sign? Star plus circle. Do it again. Is it a star? Is it a circle? Is it a square? Is it a plus sign? Is it the watery waves? Wave. We got a wave. It's a star. Right? Like some people are scared to ask for help, man, because either their pride gets in the way or their ego gets in the way, or they think that, you know, if I ask for help, that means I'm going to be indebted to somebody. But like, there are people out there that genuinely, truly just want to help because they love, man. And they don't want nothing for it. They don't want nothing out of it, you know, and they'd be mad if you didn't ask for it. Exactly. Some people are so scared to like they act like it's admitting defeat by asking for help. It takes a lot of strength to ask for help. That ain't admitting defeat. That shows that you are strong enough to ask if you really need it, you know? Is it a circle? Is it a square? Is it a plus sign? Is it a star? Or is it a squiggly line? Fine tune your intuition. A square. That's what going to therapy was for me was like. Like, I really thought that going to therapy, you know, and asking for help was a complete admission of defeat. I was like, you know, it just made me feel like that just meant that I had agreed that I could not take care of myself, that, you know, that I had been defeated. And it was the exact opposite. You know, like going to therapy like really helped me because I needed it. I really needed to go to therapy, but I was really scared to even approach that subject because it felt like failure. You know, but then I realized that it took a lot of strength for me to ask for help when I really needed it. You know, it takes a lot of strength to ask for help, you know, and then we can't get mad at people. Like sometimes I've caught myself being mad because it's like, can't you see that I'm struggling? Can't you see that I'm struggling? Why won't anybody come and help me? But I refuse to ask. You know, it's like I just needed somebody to be a mind reader and just step in and do it, because it's like these people can read your mind and realize that you need help, you know. And especially when you're like the rock, if you're like the rock, you know, and you feel like you can't ask for help because you're the one that always helps other people, you know. But asking for help is definitely not admitting defeat. It takes a huge amount of awareness, like self-awareness and strength to be like, you know, hey, like, I need some help. Y'all ain't mind readers. Is it a circle? Is it a square? Is it a star? Is it wavy lines? Square. I'll pull you one of these cards. Dance like everyone else can go fuck themselves. We cut ourselves off from joy far too often because we worry what other people will think of us. Take a moment today to look around and silently tell everyone to go fuck themselves, then dance. You can even do it naked in your window if you want to, you know? Just dance naked in your window. You get a little booty jiggle going on. Jiggle it just a little bit. All right, now we are going to go on to Aquarius. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius, gang? Oh, what am I doing? Looking in the wrong screen. I'm looking at my notebook for the time. That's funny. It's like at work, I tried to put money into the credit card machine and I was like so confused why it wasn't working. I was like, why isn't this working? I was like trying to stick money into it. Why isn't this working? Like, oh yeah, it doesn't take cash. Aquarius, what sort of messages do you need to know right meow? Right? Meow. Let's see. What do we have for Aquarius? Yeah, and if any of y'all ever have any problems, you know, if you are struggling with addiction, or you need help writing a book, or you know, you have a loved one that's struggling with addiction, you need any sort of resources as far as that goes, like I am 3 years in recovery, completely, like I am completely sober. I mean, I've had a beer here or there, you know, throughout the 3 years, but like I am completely 3 years, like drug-free, sober, you know. I even wrote a book about it. So if anybody ever needs any help, like I wrote this book and I did it all from my phone. And you can find that on the description of the videos. You can find the link for it, or if you want a signed copy, just hit me up at my Gmail at s.y.l.sayyoulove@gmail.com. And I would be happy to talk to you about anything that you're struggling with like that. Because I've definitely been through it, man. I've been up and I've been down, and I've been all around. And I truly believe that, everybody's story is important. Like, it doesn't matter if you're recovering from narcissistic abuse. It doesn't matter if you're recovering from alcoholism. It doesn't matter if you're recovering from, like, there's so many things to recover from, and there's somebody out there that needs your story. They need to hear your story. Your story only has a way that can touch the person that is meant to hear it. Like, nobody else can get to them but you, so we got to stop being so quiet. Don't be ashamed of any of the stuff that you've been through in your life, because it happened. You know what I mean? Like, if it happened, it happened. If you did it, you did it. Like, like when Eminem got up on stage and he knew that they were going to talk shit about everything, that he lived in a trailer and he did this, he white trash, blah, blah, blah. And instead he got up on stage and just owned every single one of his flaws and every single one of his misfortunes or miscomings. You know what I mean? Like, he completely took his power away from anybody that was trying to shame him, And that's what telling your story really does. It really takes the power from any sort of shame that you feel about it. Like, yeah, I'm not proud of some of the stuff that I've done in my life. Excuse me. But I'm not ashamed of the things that I've learned from all the stupid shit I've done in my life. I'm not ashamed of the lessons I've learned by making a complete fool out of myself. Like, it's embarrassing, some of the things that I've let happen, or I've agreed to, or I've been a part of. But through those experiences, I've learned the utmost about what not to do, how to act in this situation. What, don't be getting into the car with a bunch of drunk people at 4:00 in the morning to go shoot shotguns. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bad idea. Your intuition knows it's a bad idea, but you're like, hey, let's just get in this car and go driving around at 4:00 in the morning with shotguns. You know what I mean? Aquarius, sorry, I trailed off there. But yeah, your story matters. Like, you have a story that only your story can impact the person that needs to hear it. It was a story of somebody else's recovery that inspired me to write my own story, and now my story of recovery has inspired all kinds of people to write their own stories. So if you ever need help with how to mind map a book, or what sort of process I went through for getting my book published, hit me up. I ain't scared. Aquarius. What sort of messages do we have for Aquarius? What's on the table? What do we got on the table, Aquarius? Ooh. So, Aquarius, I feel like you were sitting on the side of the road waiting for a ride to show up, and you felt like you were really stuck, not going nowhere. So you decided to go back the way that you back in the way that you came from, and then you got a ride right away. You know what I mean? Like, you might have been pushing real hard for something, and pushing real hard, and things just didn't work out. They didn't work out the way that you thought they were going to work out. So you're like going back, not say back tracing, because there's no such thing. It's like a spiral. You're not going backwards, but you're going back to where you started and kind of like reestablishing something. That's just like when I was hitchhiking. Like, man, I thought I was stuck on the side of the road forever. But because I had no real destination, and I had complete trust in the universe, I was like, all right, well, what happens if I just cross the road? And I crossed the road, and I got a ride within minutes, and on the other side of the road, I had been sitting there for hours and hours and hours. So I was like, all right, universe, maybe I'm just supposed to go back to where I came from, and sure enough, I got a ride within minutes. And I feel like that's kind of like what this situation is, like, you thought you were going this one direction and going to go do all this, but instead you took a leap of faith to listen to the universe. And it's not like you're backtracking. It's not that you're backtracking. It's just that you have you have faith in the universe, you know, like you're willing to take that step back to where you started so that you can go in the direction in which you need to go instead of pushing so hard for something that like you shouldn't be fighting for. It shouldn't have to be so, it shouldn't have to be so rough, you know? Like I feel like you've been fighting an uphill battle, like you're just walking in sand. Have you ever walked in a bunch of sand with like a pack on, you know, or carrying anything heavy? Like not only is sand super hot, like it's super, super hot, and then it makes everything like, I don't know why everybody over romanticizes the beach, you know? You go to the beach and they're like, oh yeah, romantic day on the beach. And it's like, you might as well just put sand in your own butt crack, you know? Because it's coming home with you. You might as well put it in your own food because you're going to eat it if you're hanging out at the beach. Like when I was in Florida, my friend used to put sand in his coffee because he knew he was just going to chew his coffee anyway. So at least he knew he was doing it. So I feel like that's kind of what you're doing is like you're putting sand in your coffee. So at least you know that you did it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're taking a leap of faith going back to where you started because you don't feel like you should have to fight and walk through sand to get where you're going. But if there's going to be sand in your butt crack, by God, you're going to put it there. You know, you're like, at least I know where that sand came from. And I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I guess it's better than some mystery freaking sand. Like, wouldn't that be crazy if you were at the beach and you weren't at the beach and all of a sudden there's sand in your butt crack? Like, what? What in the fuck? Right? I'm not telling you because I'm like trying to be, you know, yeah, exactly. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do this or this or this because, you know, I'm trying to be a party pooper or I don't want you to have any fun or whatever. But like my mom has been right every single freaking time. Every single time. Like my mama knows when somebody ain't good for me. Like my mama knows, man. She knows. Like I don't know how she knows. Well, I know now as a mom, but like my mom knows, man, and I fought that and fought that and fought that and fought that and fought that. You know, no, this person's a good person. You just don't know them, you know? But your mama knows, man. So yeah, Aquarius, you are definitely like putting your faith in the universe and just kind of going with the flow. Like it's not like it almost has that feeling like you are admitting defeat, but it's not defeat, you know? Like I'm sure you learned a lot in this pursuit of whatever this was that you were fighting so hard for. But in the end, man, like you shouldn't have to fight for it like that. Like there should be no fight like that. So whatever decision that you're making, even if you have to turn around and go back the way you came from, you know, like you're going to get picked up by that magical ride within minutes after you've been sitting on the side of the road with no water for hours and hours. And the universe is going to reward you for that. You know, the ride that picks you up is going to have water and, you know, a fresh pair of socks or something, some money for you to eat. You know, you're going to get rewarded for listening to your own intuition, for listening to the universe you're going to get rewarded for not fighting it no more, for not pushing. It might suck. You might think that it sucks to have to go through it, but you're definitely going to be rewarded. You're going to be a lot happier. You're not going to be longing, you know, wishing you would have done this or wishing you would have done that. Or, you know, like you see it clearly. You see what's clear. So I don't think you'll have to worry about it. I'm not saying it doesn't suck. It might feel like it sucks right now, but ultimately, you will be rewarded. And you won't have sand in your butt crack. All right, let's do one more of these intuitions. Well, we'll do two more because we got Pisces left. And we've got 4 cards. So we'll do 2 on this one and then 2 after Pisces. And then we went through the whole deck of the intuition cards. I love these things. I think they're fun. I think it's silly, but I think it's fun. What do we got? Is it a square? Is it a circle? Is it a star? Is it squiggly lines? Is it a plus sign? Star. We got the star card. I could do a whole, like, I'll do a whole rundown of these if you guys want without any of the tarot cards in between. And I'll just kind of do them faster, like after I do Pisces or whatever. Let's see what sort of card. Do you want a yes or no question, Mom, or do you want a card? A yes or no question? All right. Yeah, it's your sand. You can put it in your butt crack. You can put it in your coffee. You can do whatever you want with it, but at least you know it's your sand. All right, so we got yes or no for the whacked crafter. We need a yes or no answer from the whacked crafter. We got a yes. 2 upright and 1 reversal with the King of Wands and the High Priestess in the upright. And the Fight of Pentacles in the reverse. That's good. That means nobody's out in the cold. That means you're listening to your intuition, and you've got some sort of fiery ideas that you want to explore the world or teach the world how to do this. Some sort of world knowledge you want to pass on. All right. Let's do another one of those intuition cards, and then we'll move on to Pisces. Do, 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 do. Is it a square? Is it a circle? Is it a star? Is it a plus sign? Or is it a squiggly line? It is a square. We have a square. Vanessa, sure. Do you want a yes or no question, or do you want a pull of one of the spiritual as fuck cards, or do you just want like a three card like mini read? I remember when I first started watching tarot, like I was so desperate for answers. Like I was so completely desperate for answers. Like I definitely don't mind giving out readings, man. Like I didn't have no money, I didn't have no nothing. You know, all these readers were charging all kinds of stuff, and I was like completely broke back then, and like I was desperately searching for answers, man. So I'd be happy to give you a reading. Right? Ghostbusters tarot cards would be cool. But do you want like a yes or no spread? Do you want like a little mini read? Do you want what you want? No one won that last one. But Vanessa asked if she could get like a little reading, so I was down for it. If she's still here. Well, I'll just give you one. If you pop back in, this one is for Vanessa. So if you're looking for a yes or no question, I would say the answer is yes. If you are looking for like a little mini read, I would say you already know the answer to your question. Like you already know what the answers are to your question. Like you just need some sort of confirmation. Like almost like you're looking for permission to feel the way that you feel, or looking for permission to leave a situation that you want to leave, or to say something that you want to say. It looks like you're worried about the outcome of something. Yeah, it feels like you're worried about the outcome of something. But like they say, if you flip a coin and you don't like the answer, then you know what your answer is, you know? Like if you're like, should I do this or should I do that? And you flip a coin and then the coin tells you something that you're like, well, I mean, then you knew what the answer was the whole time. So I feel like the answer to your question is yes. But I feel like you already know the answer to your question, but you might be scared of the outcome of whatever this is that you've got going on. You might be scared of someone's reaction, or the consequences of this yes, or you taking this movement. But like I say with the Azrael card, like to me, like death is ending, but it's also the beginning of something. And if it's something that you might regret on your deathbed not doing, you know what I mean, then by all means go for it. If it's something that you want to pursue, that has been in your heart, your mind, and your soul, you're like, really, I need to pursue this. And you feel like that if you were on your deathbed, then go ahead and do it. But I feel like whatever it is your question, the answer to your question, if it's a yes or no, is yes. And if there's something else more specific that you're looking for, like I feel like you already know the answer, that you are just looking for some sort of permission or confirmation to that answer. Yeah, with the Ten of Pentacles. So it will be, you're worried that it's not going to be successful, or that you're not going to have success in it, but you will. The answer is yes. All right, let's do Pisces, and then we'll do the last of those, the last two of them intuition cards. And I'll give you a reading too, Wander, if you want one. If you got something you want to ask or whatever, like I'm down to give you a reading. I appreciate you being here. Wanderer. What sort of messages do we have for the Pisces collective? Pisces. We'll do Pisces, and then I'll give Wander a little mini reading, and then we'll finish with those intuition cards. All right. Pisces, what do we got for the Pisces collective? What do my Pisces friends need to know right now? What is it that Pisces needs to know right now? So I feel like somebody's too into themselves to give you an apology. Like you might be waiting for some sort of apology, or some sort of acknowledgement, for a job well done. And it seems like somebody's ego is definitely preventing them from doing that. Like this person, like sure it's a message, but this person's like super obsessed with themselves and like all like this is like one of the narcissistic cards is he's like staring at his own reflection. Like he pretty much drowns in his own reflection in the story of the Page of Cups for this tarot deck, you know? And it's like they know that you're due this recognition. They know that you're due the recognition. Will you get it? Maybe you will get it. Because we have both cards here for that, where somebody wronged you or didn't think that you were capable of something, or, you know, or didn't think that you were the rightful heir of the throne, you know, and then once they found out that you actually pulled the sword of Excalibur out of the thing, then all of a sudden they're gonna like come and bow down to you, or like ask you for forgiveness, or, you know, want to learn how you did it, like how, like those people that didn't believe in you, that talk shit about you, you know what I mean, that were like scoffing at you when you tried to do something, are going to be asking you like how you accomplished it. But I think it's going to take them a while because they are super self-absorbed, you know. But eventually they might come around to seeing the way that it truly is, you know. But you're definitely due some sort of apology or some sort of acknowledgement. But don't let that make you or break you, you know. Don't let that make you or break you. Don't let your feelings get involved over fact, right? Like the fact is that you knew what you were doing, you knew how to do it, you knew that you were going to be successful at it, and you knew that this person wasn't ever going to acknowledge how good of a job you did. So don't hold your breath waiting for it. Like just keep doing you, keep being the badass that you are, you know. And then eventually they'll come out and they'll pull their head out of their ass, and then, you know, maybe want some advice from you about how to do something. You know, they might have to actually like come up to you and be like, okay, you know, I was wrong, like how did you do this, you know, like I need to know how you did that. And they might be asking you for help, they might be asking you to teach them something, some sort of skill that you have. But don't hold your breath in the meantime, you know, because it's going to take this person a minute. Yeah, don't let it bother you. Don't let it slow your stride whatsoever. Like keep standing tall in your knowing of like your worth. You know, don't just because nobody is telling you, you know, or especially the person that you're expecting it from, that you did a good job, or that, you know, like you're like, just because nobody's praising you for what you did, don't let it get to you, because it will come around. You know, the word of mouth, especially if it's like job situations or something. They're going to be coming to you asking you how you did it. You know, they're going to be coming to you asking you how you survived that, or how you know, how you handled that situation, or how you overcame this or that, or, you know what I mean? Like they're going to eventually have to swallow their pride and come to you, but don't hold your breath in the meantime. Don't hold your breath. Don't let it slow your stride. Don't let it dull your shine, you know? And even if you never get it from that person, just know that they know. They know, but their ego will not let them acknowledge it. Their pride, their ego will not let them, like they will not, they might go to their grave never acknowledging whatever it is that, you know, they need to tell you or that you were right about. But don't let that dull your shine. All right, Pisces. All right, Wanderer, I will do a little reading here. So do you want like a yes or no reading? Ooh. If that is something that you are passionate about, I mean, this is just my personal advice, especially since like my favorite archangel is Azrael. Like Azrael is like I love Azrael so much, and Azrael is the angel of death, you know, and most people think that he's a demon, but really like Azrael is the one that has to transmute every single one of our pains, our griefs, our regrets, our love. You know, like Azrael has so much love for us because he's seen so much inside of us. Like he has to transmute all of that energy before we're like handed back up into pure form to like source energy, you know. So Azrael is my all-time, like I love Azrael. Like I've done a lot of research on Azrael. I've done a lot to do with death, you know, and not death as in like people dying, but like death as the angel. So from my personal advice is like, not only is that synchronistic for the fact that you're asking me about that, and that happens to be who my archangel is, you know, like gives me angel bumps like all over. So and it's a passion, and you feel like it's a calling. Like, would you regret not doing it on your deathbed? You know, because then Azrael is going to have to transmute that pain into pure positive life form. You know what I mean? And think of all the people that you are hurting by, you know, like all the people that you could help by being a death doula, you know. And then like if the world doesn't have you fulfill that passion, that dream, you know, if the those people that you're meant to help don't have you by their side to be their doula, then, you know, who's to say that they could transfer as peacefully, you know? Like if that's seriously your calling, like that's like from my own personal advice, I would absolutely say pursue that, because not only is that obviously a passion that you have, but it's a pretty sacred synchronicity right now with just with those facts by itself. And you'd be doing the world a disservice if you did not pursue that passion, would be my personal advice. But we'll see what the cards say. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Should wanderer pursue the passion of being a death doula? Should wanderer pursue passion of being a death doula? I would say that it's going to take a lot of detachment, like emotional detachment from these people's pain. You know, if you really think that you can detach yourself, you know, detach your own person from their experiences and their pain, like, because you're going to have to go home with all of these stories that these people on their deathbed are telling you. You know, you're going to have to like that's going to be like whatever stories that they have is like being an ambulance driver, or, you know, a nurse, you know, like they have real rough jobs. So like you want to make sure that you're going to be strong enough, like spiritually, to be able to ground yourself after these transitions, you know, because not only are you going to become attached to your patients, but you're going to have to learn how to not take that pain with you everywhere that you go. You know, you're going to have to learn how to not like make their pain your pain. You know, like you're because there's going to be times where you're going to go home and you're going to think about these people. And then some of these people you are going to remember for the rest of your living life. So the universe, what I'm getting from these cards is I absolutely think that you have a shot at it, but it might break you. It might seriously break you. That was the last card that just came out. So you got to make sure if you're going to pursue that you will be able to emotionally handle all that comes with it. You can't let it break you. You know, as long as you have your own heart in check and your own emotional integrity and your, emotional intelligence, not to say integrity, as long as you are able to detach yourself from the feelings of these people, I think you'd be really successful with it. But I feel like it's going to be challenging, to say the least. But as far as my advice goes, I would absolutely say, if that's something that you have a passion for, and for the fact that S.y.l is my archangel, I mean, and nobody really knows that, that might just be him calling you to make sure that you are prepared for the emotional attachments that come with that. Make sure that you're not taking these spirits home with you. But yeah, I think you would be successful with it. We have the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the Nine of Cups. That's freaking beautiful, But it's going to definitely be challenging, for sure. And you have the Star card. But I think that it would definitely be worth it, not only to your soul in the long run, but I think that you'll be doing the planet a service, especially if that's your calling. That was really cool. All right, let's do these last couple of intuition cards. Intuition cards. So, is it a square? Is it a circle? Is it a plus? Is it a squiggly? You are very welcome. And I definitely applaud your courage and your that takes a lot of heart. So I appreciate even the fact that you'd even be considering doing that. It's definitely needed. And then S.y.l is my angel. What up? Julie Bully. Julie Bully? Do you want a yes or no card, Julie Bully, or do you want one of these spiritual as fuck cards, or do you want what you want? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. You are so welcome. You want a card? All right. Let's go with this one. It says you can't save your face and your ass at the same time. I almost thought it said shave. Is there a secret that you're keeping? Is ego keeping you from being honest about who you really are? Go ahead and admit where you fucked up. Seriously. We're all fuck ups in some way. Welcome to being human. You do you, baby. Yeah, we are all perfectly imperfect. And if you don't think that you're a fuck up, then I definitely don't. Like, I can't hang out with people that think that they're perfect. Like, I don't trust y'all. If you think that you are perfect and like you ain't never fucked up and ain't nothing ever your fault, and you know what I mean? Like, I can't hang out with people like that. We got one more of these guys left. Is it a star? Is it a circle? Is it a plus? Or is it wavy lines? Or a square? Julie Boy, you got it again. Good job, Julie Boy. Be the person you needed when you were a kid. Did you need someone who protected you? Did you need unconditional love? Did you need more attention? Did you need praise? Did you need to know someone had your back? You're a big kid now, and you could do that for the little pipsqueaks still living inside your rib cage. Shit, I know I needed my ass whooped. uh. I know I definitely needed some discipline in my life. Although I probably would have rebelled. I would have rebelled. All right, so we're gonna just go through the intuition deck. We did all the zodiac signs, so we're gonna shuffle these guys up again, and we're just gonna run through it. And I'm going to go through them kind of fast, and so be ready to go. So remember, this is what they look like. There are circles, squares, pluses, stars. That's what they look like. All right. I'm just going to go through the whole deck. No stopping. Going through the whole deck. We're not going to stop. No stops. No stop sign. We're just going to vroom, beep, beep. Ready? I almost forgot to show you guys the card. I was just going to go put it in the pile. Ooh, good job. I'm just going to go through the whole deck. We're not going to stop. So just keep your focus. We're just going to keep going through the whole deck. I love these cards. I think it's so much fun. Hi, Jack. A star, a circle, a square, a plus, or a wave. This is where in Ghostbusters you get zap. Zap! I didn't sign up for this. We were playing Fine Tune Our Intuition. You know why you can't fuck a duck, right? Because it'll give you the quack. circle, square, plus, wiggly lines, or star. We got 2 more. Last one. Dude. I don't know. I like playing these. I think they're cool. Yeah, I was doing a remote reading for reading. Whoever got their cards for the fine-tuned intuition, I was like flipping cards for him. Readings for readings. Fine-tune your intuition. All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight, guys. I love you guys very, very much. Thank you very much for being here and joining on the fun with me. And I really enjoyed these readings tonight. And I really enjoy these intuition cards. Like, I love doing that stuff. Like, I think it's fun. So I really appreciate y'all. And don't forget to like and comment and, you know, all of those like things that everybody already knows you're supposed to do. It might be a small action for you, but it is a huge bada boom, big bada boom. Chicken is good. Okay? And don't forget, if you would like to have a signed one of my books sent to you, you can reach out to me at s.y.l.sayyoulove@gmail.com. And I can send you a signed copy of this book that I wrote. Or you can get it off of Amazon, and I have the link in the description of the video. And if you are looking for any sort of, you know, help on how to write a book, or if you are struggling with addiction, like I that is like, I am a recovered addict, and I am very proud and very like not anonymous. Like, I refuse to remain anonymous. So together we can change the whole world. If we can change the world from inside ourselves, every single person change the world from inside themselves at a time, then we can truly change the whole entire world. And I have faith in us, you guys. I love you. Mwah. Good night.